at least in the state of Kansas, from 4A on down. So you've got to kind of look at this as a way to fine-tune yourself, because Independence heading into a pretty tough district slate with Labette County, as you mentioned, then Coffeyville at home, and then on the road again to finish things out at Chanute. So, of course, the goal here tonight, win this one against El Dorado, but Independence is going to have to carry forward a lot of those positives they had from last week, where Independence played near flawless in every aspect of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. Going to have to see more of the same here tonight, where Independence got everything clicking.
Yeah, Independence kind of learned a little bit about themselves last week. Are you a good team at forcing turnovers? Forced quite a few turnovers last week. Had a couple interceptions there. Cody Schickey in the first quarter alone with 2 of them on offense. Is this a quick stride, big play offense? You went 1 week at Baser Linwood, unable to put anything on the board. But then you kind of look at it and say, well, you know what? We've also scored 56 points 2 out of the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, Independence has had an interesting schedule, played some really tough teams, and then had an opportunity to play some more teams on level with where Independence is at. Of course, that one last week with Anderson County. So it's been kind of hard to get a gauge on what this Independence team could bring to the table. So it was good to see them play the way they did last week, and finally seeing a lot of that talent being able to rise to the occasion, especially being as young as this Independence team is. It was definitely the kind of game they needed. Now they're going to have to carry that momentum forward. That's going to be another big aspect of this. How do they come out and respond on the road after having such a big win last week at home? You're coming into hostile territory against an El Dorado team, Brett. I know you and I were kind of looking at the roster for this Wildcat team. They've got some pretty good size across the board, and that's something that Independence has had a little bit of trouble matching up with in really throughout the majority of this season.
Yeah, they've got a couple kids listed. This is just their listed size. They didn't look extremely big out there warming.
Yeah, and of course you inflate those numbers a little.
I don't know anybody who would do that. But the one that stuck out to me, a sophomore tight end, 6'5", 220. You don't have to be very good at 6'5", 220. You just got to go out there. Just throw some up.
Yeah, exactly. If that's the route they're going to go. To me, it's going to be maybe more important for Independence controlling the line of scrimmage, what that defensive line is going to be capable of doing, because they really manhandled Anderson County last week. Going to have to see more of that this week. When Independence struggles to control the game in the trenches, that's where Independence tends to give up a lot of yards and a lot of points. As before that Anderson County game, Independence, the fewest points they had given up that year was 41. And then finally got things on track defensively against the Bulldogs, the Anderson County Bulldogs. They're going to have to look to do more of the same here. Otherwise, they could find themselves in another shootout.
Yeah, the defense can allow themselves to get into shootout games. As we've seen this offense able to put up points, you know, the Parsons game, you went 56-50. It looks cool in the paper, but not many coaches like to win 56-50. 56-0 or 56-14, or yeah, that looks a little bit better. But you don't want your defense going out there and saying, you know what, it's okay, we're going to give up 50. The offense will score 51 or more. It's okay. You don't want to play that way.
Yeah, that's a dangerous game to get into a lot of the time, and Independence can ill afford to have that happen again here tonight, getting into that type of shootout, because you also really don't know whether your offense can maintain that level of play. Nothing against the offense. It's just the way this offense is structured. It's about running the football, not necessarily big plays through the air. Running the football, controlling the clock, and scoring on long, methodical drives.
Especially a game like this tonight. You mentioned running the football and controlling the clock. That's going to be huge tonight. The wind right now is blowing at like 30 miles an hour at least, which it doesn't, you're looking outside, really doesn't look that bad right now, but those gusts come up, and you don't want to be calling some big pass play, and all of a sudden that 30, 35 mile an hour wind gusts come in. It's almost impossible to be on target when that kind of wind, especially this stadium, not quite up on a hill, but the same layout kind of as Veterans Stadium down in Coffeyville. Big open areas around it. There's not many structures around that are going to block the wind. This south end, completely open. There's just a parking lot and a fence, a chain-link fence. That wind is going to be whipping down on the south end tonight.
Very true. We'll have to see how it plays out. We're going to wrap up our Quality Toyota pregame show, send it back to the studio for 30 seconds, and then when we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
Quality Toyota and Quality Motors are proud supporters of IHS Athletics. We would like to encourage fans and players to keep up the great example of sportsmanship that is an Independence tradition. Quality Automotive Group also has a rich tradition of helping local folks get the best deal on a new or used car or truck. For example, I have a great school or commuter car, a 2011 Camry with only 56,000 miles. Stop by either side of the street and tell them you're here for the IHS Supporter Special and get a $1,000 discount. Go Bulldogs.
You're listening to the IHS Bulldogs on KBIK Independence, Indy 102.9.
Back here, El Dorado, Kansas. Once again, between the El Dorado Wildcats and the Independence Bulldogs, these two teams squaring off against one another. This evening, final game before district play begins. So kind of an all-important contest to get your team where you want to be. Both teams out there now.
Just preseason game, no game.
Hey, we'll get into that more at halftime and discuss whether the new system they've come up with is truly going to be better or not.
Just ask Pittsburgh and Lebec County if it's going to be better when they're making that 9-hour road trip to Ulysses, Kansas.
As I say, ask literally any other team in 4A how 4A had gotten significantly harder, no matter how you cut it. Kickoff coming up. Independence will be kicking off, going right to left. El Dorado will receive left to right. Do you want to mention our kickoff brought to you by G&W Foods of Independence? G&W Foods Independence just as well get the best. So Independence will go defensively. And El Dorado going to get the first crack here tonight on the offensive side to try to put points up on the board. Prawley will be set to kick this one off for the Bulldogs. He'll boot this one away. It'll be fielded out near the 9-yard line by the Wildcats, working away to the right-hand side. Now cutting up the middle, got a big lane there. Now bouncing to the outside, gets a block. Flags come flying in, however, out across the 40-yard line out near the 44. As on the return there, that was number 22, Kyle Bobbitt. Had a lane, but the flag's going to push this one back.
Now, you know the penalty, it's the right call. With 3 different officials throw the flag out. No arguing this one.
All 3 seeing the same thing. Definitely not a judgment call there.
However, the hold is what's called really didn't affect the return much.
And as a coach, that drives you crazy. I mean, as an official, you're going to call it because you can't make a judgment necessarily whether it's going to affect it.
It probably let him have an extra 5 yards, but he had a lane for the first 30 yards of that return. Would have been a great start for El Dorado, but now going to get pushed back to what about the 26-yard line?
Yep. El Dorado going to take over at their own 26-yard line as a result. Wildcats in the shotgun set. Going to hand it off left-hand side with it. Cuts now back inside. Now working the way out. Weaving between defenders and getting tackled for what will be around an 11, maybe close to a 12-yard gain and a first down. As right out of the gate, Independence having a hard time moving laterally on the defensive side to try to stop that one out on the edge.
Yeah, it looked like that was Hunter Armijo out there. And, just went to the outside. Easy first down. Independence going to have to seal off that outside.
Shotgun set, 2 running backs in the backfield. Fighting his way through the middle there for El Dorado out to the 45-yard line. We are kind of high up. So it may take
binoculars.
Yeah, number 13 it looked like, Jackson Shell. As he was the ball carrier, picks up 7. It'll bring up 2nd and 3.
Shell, just a sophomore. And I noticed El Dorado had quite a few returning playmakers, weapons, but told they're also a young team.
Pistol gun set, working to the right-hand side, running the option, decides to keep it. Quarterback goes down, loss of a couple on that one as Independence doing a good job reacting there. And then it's going to bring up 3rd and 5 according to the board. kind of running a lot like what Independence does. A lot of shotgun, but not necessarily throwing the football.
A lot of misdirection in the backfield.
Back in the gun, low snap. Pulls it in, rolls to his right-hand side, fires it, tipped away, incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th and 5 as Wittenberg couldn't find the intended target rolling away. And it's going to bring up 4th and 5 now from the 43-yard line of El Dorado.
El Dorado looking like they have no desire to punt this football.
And that wind, I know what you say. Look at the flags.
They're
the far
going
corner.
into the wind.
They are going into the wind. So they're probably going to elect to try to, imagine, run the football.
I don't know if there's going to be much left of those flags by the time the night's over with.
Roll to the right-hand side, looking, firing, complete. Going to get enough for the first down along the sideline as Wittenberg finding the intended target, and Independence giving up the first down there on 4th. It'll move the chains with 9:51 left in the first quarter. We're still knotted at zeros. And a fresh set of downs for El Dorado at the 50-yard line. 5 wide receiver set, slot man in motion. Going to hand it off to him, hit in the backfield, swung around and tackled for a loss. Great job there on that one. It looked like it was number 55, Gabe Wright, for Independence defensively, taking down the ball carrier in the backfield and a loss of 4.
Gabe Wright telling that running back he hit the wrong hole.
No. 2nd and 14 coming up. Seen a little more of this Independence defense the last couple of weeks. Doing a good job of pushing offenses back with some negative plays, but Independence has also been susceptible through the air a little bit. Timeout called, going to be called by El Dorado. We'll take a 30-second timeout with them. 9:11 left in the first quarter. We're still tied at zeros. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
At Community National Bank and Trust, your convenience is important to us. We have 29 locations throughout the area, all ready to serve you. We also have convenient online banking and a brand new upgrade to our mobile app. Download it today. We know your life is hectic enough. That's why we like to make banking easy and convenient. Convenient locations, convenient technology, convenience for you. Community National Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Coming out of the timeout, 9:11 left in the first quarter. El Dorado still with the football. They're facing 2nd and 14 now from their own 46-yard line. Shotgun set, going to hand it off to the running back, working the right-hand side. Now jukes out to the left and gets tackled by Prawley as he comes streaking in there, and Shell gets tackled after minimal gain, if anything, maybe half a yard. Brings up 3rd and 13.
Mr. Do-Everything, Josh Prawley on the tackle. Prawley coming from that outside linebacker position, just flying in there. He's kind of switching in between outside linebackers, playing back at safety. Sometimes Chicky will be back there at safety.
That Jabril Peppers that played out there at Michigan, kind of doing it all. Flag comes flying in, going to have a false start here on 3rd down. That's going to knock El Dorado back further, and you know, sometimes you get players like that. I believe they call them athletes. There where you can kind of plug them in at virtually any position.
I call them Brett.
No, but athletes.
I'm sorry.
You misheard me. And sometimes you get that luxury. And Josh Prawley definitely one of those types of players where a lot of versatility. So a 3rd and very long situation, and going to be extremely tough for El Dorado. As Brett mentioned earlier, they're going into the wind, so that really limits what you can do throwing the football. Pistol gun set, dropping back to pass at Wittenberg. Looks, fires over the middle, it's complete. Going to get across the original line of scrimmage before being forced out of bounds, and that's going to make this a much more manageable 4th down situation, as it'll bring up 4th and 3.
The pass was complete to Caden Kleitz, the receiver. Ended up being a gain of 15, and as Kane said, now just a 4th and about a long 3. And
yeah,
Independence defense was set up to probably force a punt, even though into the wind, looking at a long 4th down. Not looking so tough now.
Fourth down, El Dorado going to go for it again. Going to hand it off, running back the backfield off the left-hand side, fights his way forward, going to fall across the first down marker. And judging by the officials coming in from the side, it's going to be enough to move the chain. So another first down picked up by the Wildcats. Under 8 to go in the first quarter. Now a 4+ minute drive by El Dorado to open this game.
And that's now 2 fourth down conversions. Not what you want as a defense.
Back in the pistol. Wittenberg drops back to pass. Looks, throws, complete on the out route. Shallow side across the 35, reaching for more yardage and getting it after a gain of 5. Like that was number 88, Cameron Clausey. And it's going to bring up 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats. So El Dorado not afraid to throw the football despite heading into that strong wind.
Wittenberg already 3 for 3, 27 yards.
Back in the pistol, 2 running backs back there with them. Going to be a draw off the left-hand side, finding a big hole, and then get taken down at around the 28-yard line. It'll be enough to move the chains after the gain of 6. And El Dorado on the move as they're pushing deeper into Independence territory.
Coach Boldra probably not liking what he's seeing from his defense.
It's been a well-balanced attack from El Dorado. Again, even against the wind, so give this offense credit. As we go under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter, back in the pistol, going to hand it off to the tailback, just plows his way through the middle of that defense, going to pick up close to 3 on that carry. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 as the Wildcats trying to do it a number of different ways, and they've been rewarded with some of the chances they've taken as well, converting to 4th downs on this drive alone.
Yeah, Independence obviously happy to get a team into a 4th down situation, but when a team's not scared to go for it, not what you want.
It makes things tough. Going to be another option. Quarterback keeper Wittenberg shedding arm tackles. He'll fall across the first down marker, gain of 7, and it'll push the push the chains further down the field for a first down. And Independence
had that
bend but don't break here.
Yeah, had that at about a 3-yard gain. It ended up being a gain of about 7.5, almost 8. Wittenberg just kept those feet going. Kind of like, I hate saying this, kind of like Jamal Charles a couple years ago.
Even this year a little bit, man.
No, he sucks.
No, I've seen some play. Definitely.
I haven't.
1st and 10.
Trash.
Hand off to the right-hand side. Going to get swallowed up there along the line of scrimmage as Armijo has nowhere to go. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Well, and the other side of this, just talking about this drive, Independence is going to get very little time with the wind. As this quarter's getting eaten through, we're at the 5.5-minute mark of the first quarter. Independence hasn't touched the ball.
Might get out of here in time to catch Spain. You don't remind me of that.
Yeah, I thought. Shotgun set and in motion out of the slot. Going to hand it off to him. Working the right-hand side. Gets tripped up. Independence doing a good job containing the edge. And about a short 2-yard gain there on that one. It'll hold on. It'll bring up 3rd and 8 from the Independence 16-yard line. Big pair of downs coming up now for the Independence defense. 3rd and 8, pistol gun set. Going to hand it off to the tailback. Hits off of a defender, spins out of it, and goes down after a gain of 1. It's going to bring up 4th and 7. I don't know about that. But Independence got to be careful. They've already given up 2 4th down conversions here on this drive, and
You got to be thinking pass right here.
Yeah, you really do. And El Dorado's done a good job from what we've seen work at the middle of the field and that right sideline when they've thrown the football. Got to expect that's where it's going, even though they're on the right hash mark. A little confusion. El Dorado trying to get set up. They'll go 4 wide receiver set. Going to roll to the right-hand side, looking to throw. Flag comes out. It's knocked down, incomplete. Prawley undercutting that route. Have to see what the flag is, though.
I'm going to assume some sort of illegal formation, somebody not set. With
El Dorado had a very difficult time getting things set up. It is an illegal procedure penalty, and they're going to decline it. Independence will take over on down. So big stand by the Independent defense in a drive that almost took 8 minutes as we're at the 4:03 mark of the first quarter.
This quarter is 2/3 over.
But Independent's going to get a little bit of an opportunity with the wind at their back if they elect to try to throw the football. We'd love to see Independence just come out and try to throw the ball deep here on the very first drive. Independence did have a 91-yard touchdown pass last week against Anderson County. Prawley under center. Offset I formation. They'll hand it off to Farley. Farley fights his way through the middle of that defense. He'll pick up 3 yards on that carry. It'll bring up 2nd and 7.
You expecting a deep pass at some point before this quarter's over?
I kind of would have liked there on the first down, especially out of that formation. But Independence, of course, bread and butter is the run game. And they've been able to work that to some pretty good success with some of those backs they've got back there, especially Farley and McGrath. And the shotgun set for Prawley. He'll hand it off to Farley. Gets stood up around the line of scrimmage, forced back. Forward progress going to give him close to a yard. And it'll bring up 3rd and ball at 6.
I think if you're Indy, if you don't get it here, it's okay to punt.
Yeah, especially with that wind.
With the wind.
Although no matter how you cut it, big situation for the Bulldogs, considering they're at their own 19-yard line. Back in the shotgun for Prawley.
Watch a pass out of the backfield here.
Slow snap. Takes the handoff. Rolls out under pressure. Needs some help. Gets out of it. Fires. They got a man open. It's complete. Down to the 50, the 45, and getting tackled there was Daniels. Don't know how Prawley did it, but he did get up kind of slow as he was taken down. Probably looked like he was sacked about 3 different times there on that play as defenders collapsed on him. Threw at the last second, found Daniels open, and picked up the big gainer.
Ends up going for 36, and Daniels wide open, and probably just kind of threw it where he could under so much pressure. If he would have been able to step into that a little more, could have led Daniels. That's 6.
So Independence able to get out of the shadow of their own goalpost, though, as they have the ball at the El Dorado 45-yard line, 1st and 10, 2:20 left in the first quarter. Still at zeros. Shotgun set. Going to hand off to Farley. Farley right up the middle. Big hole, spin move, and then gets taken down out across the first down marker. He'll pick up enough to move the chains, and Independence doing a nice little drive going here.
That one big pass play might spark this offense a little bit.
Yeah,
Farley running a little bit harder on that play.
Granted, it was a situation where I don't really want to say a broken play, but probably not the way Independence screw it up on that pass play, but that may move back that El Dorado defense a little bit as they're going to have to respect the throwing game from the Bulldogs. Bulldogs shotgun set for Prawley. He'll hand it off Farley. Gets a good block on the edge. Now he'll hit the 25, the 20. Gets brought down from behind out to the 15. And big gainer once again as Marion Farley doing what he could there on that play and then some, especially after getting a great block on the outside.
Farley now with 34 yards on just 4 carries.
1:36 left in the first quarter. Independence in the El Dorado red zone. We're still tied at zeros. Shotgun set for Prawley. Quarterback keeper, as he'll run it off the left-hand side. Won't get it, or excuse me, won't get much, I should say, as it'll bring up a 2nd and long.
Yeah, probably only able to get about 2 yards on that one.
Oh, they're going to say he fumbled, I guess. That's El Dorado ball. Man, did not see hardly any reaction from the players there, but yeah, they're signaling El Dorado football as
no real argument.
Probably fumble there, so tough break for Independence. Didn't even see that one.
At least it happened there.
Yeah, far side, so El Dorado gets the ball back. Tough break for Independence, to say the least. Wildcats fighting the way up the middle with it on the carry. It'd be about a 5-yard gain. It'll bring up 2nd and 5 for El Dorado. got a nice setup up here, of course, nice facilities, but we are kind of high, and El Dorado got red numbers on black jerseys, so we'll try to get the numbers for the Wildcats as best we can. Pistol gun set once again, going to hand it off up the middle with it. Stuck by 2 defenders at the first down marker. Probably going to be enough for it, as it'll move the chains with 39 seconds left in the first quarter. Still tied at zeros.
I don't like these numbers.
Yeah, it's hard to see it. It is real hard to see that red on black. Handoff once again off the right-hand side. Spin move, getting out of the first tackle, but then brought down by the second one after a short gain of 1.5 yards. And that turnover probably going to loom pretty large as Independence coughing the ball up in the red zone. Getting down to 5 seconds left in the first quarter, and that's probably going to be all as teams will switch sides. We'll take a 60-second timeout, 0-0. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
When the lights come up on Friday and Saturday nights at high schools and colleges across the region, it's often on a field built by Crossland Construction. Many Crossland employees played on those fields and were educated in the schools that are thriving parts of our communities today. Crossland is a proud supporter of area athletics and urges you to be a part of your local school community. Many of the athletes playing today may help Crossland build across our region in the future. Check out career opportunities at crossland.com. Crossland Construction, build you.
I'm Kim Goodman, born and raised in Independence, Kansas. At Equity Bank, you'll find experience in what we do with lending decisions made right here. When you buy a home, I will work with you while also providing great rates. We're helping build equity right here in Southeast Kansas. Go to equitybank.com to apply or call me at 331-1660. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Getting ready to start the second quarter. We're still tied at 0. El Dorado with the football, 2nd and 8, and they've got the wind at their back now. Haven't shown any hesitation to throw the ball, and they're going to go deep here on the first play. It's picked off instead. They threw it short, had a man deep. It's picked off and taken back into the end zone. Touchdown, Josh Prawley. I thought they were going to the fly as the outside receiver just streaked down the field. Instead, they threw the out route. Prawley undercut it, pick 6.
Oh, they read that all the way.
Kind of thought they might try to test the waters deep. Decided not to through the under route. And Prawley, great anticipation, but he picks up 6 points defensively there on that one. 6-0 Independence, 11:50 left here in the second quarter, and the defense getting in on the action. Actually breaking the goose egg on the scoreboard. Bulldogs going to go for 2. Shotgun set. Prawley looks, fired. It's thrown incomplete. And 2-point conversion attempt failed. 11:50 left in the second quarter. We'll take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number 1, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number 1 is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
State Farm Agent Kirk Wright, 1701 West Main in Independence, or call 620-331-1245.
When you have an emergency, you need a comprehensive healthcare facility that puts your mind at ease every step of the way. The emergency department at Labette Health Independence Healthcare Center offers patients fast access to vital healthcare services. Our quick response heart attack and stroke protocols ensure diagnostics begin rapidly. A state-of-the-art facility for state-of-the-art care. Labette Health Independence Healthcare Center, where we center around you.
6-0 Independence with the lead. 11:50 left in the second quarter. It was a pick 6 by Josh Prawley on the previous play. Bulldogs set to kick this one off back to the Wildcats. Prawley will be the kicker. He'll boot this one away. Angled kick to the sideline, and it goes out of bounds. That'll bring up the penalty flag, and it's going to give El Dorado some pretty good field position to start their next drive. kind of a tough situation to kick as Independence kicking into the wind. And that one had a tough spin on it, decided to go out of bounds. So El Dorado going to take over at their own 35-yard line to begin their next drive. Wildcats have the wind at their back. However, very first play with that opportunity, they threw the interception. Going to run the ball this time up the middle, fighting his way up near the 40-yard line before getting brought down. Let's see who that was. Like number 2 there, Hunter Armageau. He'll pick up 4. It brings up 2nd and 6. $11:25 left in the second quarter. Independence leading 6-0 over El Dorado. Pistol gun set for Wittenberg. He'll roll to the left-hand side, runs the option, pitches it back. Independence collapsing. Looked like it might have been stopped for a loss, but able to shed a few tackles and pick up a couple of yards as a result of it. Independence looked like they were going for the hit stick, Brett, rather than trying to wrap up.
I've done that a few times on that. Ended up making the pitch late. Might have been better off just keeping that one. Still got a gain of 2. Probably would have been about a gain of 2 or 3 keeping it, but probably would have put his running back in
a little less danger. Yeah.
Big hit situation.
Now 3rd and 4 for El Dorado. Quarterback keeper from the fake handoff. Independence doing a good job reacting well to that. Picks up 2 on the carry. It'll bring up 4th and 2 now for the Wildcats. Good job by the Independence defense staying at home there on the right side of that defensive
Bill Belichick is proud of that one. Do your job. Everybody stayed in their lane, did their job.
Another 4th down situation for El Dorado. A little surprised they're going for it, although it is just 4th and 2. In the pistol again, going to run with it. That line gets pushed back and gets enough for the first down after a gain of, I'll call it 4, judging by the far side. It'll pick up the first, and another 4th down conversion for the Wildcats. Makes them 3 of 4 in the night when they've gone for it on 4th down.
Kyle Bobbitt with that run, and he received the opening kickoff. He was the leading rusher in last year's game. That's his first carry of the game.
Shotgun set. Wittenberg drops back, throws it over the middle. It's complete out across the 35 down to the 30, inside to the 28-yard line. Flag comes flying in late. Can't imagine this is going to bode well for Independence. Got to imagine the completion will stand. Well, the completion will stand as that flag came in at the end of the play. Have to see what the call ends up being.
As of right now, it's a 24-yard completion.
Yeah, personal foul below to the head against Independence. So it's going to tack on another 15, and it's going to give El Dorado some pristine field position with 1st and 10. After the penalty yardage is marked off, Wildcats going to have the ball at the 15-yard line. Shotgun set, handoff, right-hand side, cut back to the inside, and he spins around out of the first tackle. That was Jackson Shell on that carry, and to wait for them to officially spot it is we're in a bit of a tough angle. He'll pick up 4 on that one.
Shell now with 9 carries and 27 yards.
Big opportunity for a stand here by the Independence defense. They turned El Dorado once earlier in the first quarter. Shotgun set, working the left-hand side. Now inside the 10, out near the 5. Still going inside the 5-yard line. Looks like the near side official, though, going to stop forward progress outside the 5 to where the 6-yard line is. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1. 8:50 left in the second quarter. 6-0, Independence with the lead.
Was that Bobbitt again on the carry?
I think so, yeah. Bobbitt, the tailback this time. Up the middle, gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. He might have picked up half a yard, but judging by where the far side official is, I don't know that he got it. He didn't. And in fact, officially, Bobbitt going to be stopped for no gain. It'll bring up 4th and 1. So another big opportunity for the Independence defense. 4th and 1. El Dorado going to go for it at the Independence 6-yard line. Shotgun set. Takes the snap. Hands it off. He gets hit. Might have fell forward, though, for it. And looking like where the officials come in at, got enough for the first down, but where the initial hit took place, he was stopped short, but kept those legs moving.
And so the initial hit was low, and he was able to lean over the hit.
Got enough for the first down, brings up 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line at the Independence 4. Pistol gun set. Going to hand it off to the tailback, gets submarined and upended. But gets taken down at the 2 after a gain of about 2.
El Dorado is one of the most balanced teams.
I'll give Independence credit defensively. The defensive line, they're getting beat up a little down there at times. They're also controlling the line of scrimmage on some plays as well. Been pretty good battle in the trenches. That time El Dorado wins the battle as off the left-hand side into the end zone for the touchdown. And Wildcats tie this one up at 6 as that was Bobbitt going off left tackle. 7:18 left in the second quarter. We're tied at 6.
And Independence defense just got tired.
Yeah, had a situation there where El Dorado able to capitalize to wind at their back. Line up for the PAT. Attempt is up and in. 7-6. El Dorado up by 1 with 7:18 left in the second quarter. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
Want to make your home a more comfortable place, but don't think you can afford a top brand heating and cooling system? Well, Carrier has the right solutions for every budget. When you turn to your Carrier expert, they'll show you our full lineup of best-in-class home comfort systems and help you pick the one that best fits into your home budget. Because in this economy, who couldn't use a little more comfort?
Lee's Cooling and Heating in Independence. Call 620-331-2310. 118 South 8th Street, Independence. You're listening to the IHS Bulldogs on KBIK Independence. Indy 102.9.
7-6 El Dorado with the 1-point lead. 7:18 left in the second quarter. Wildcats set to kick this one off. Independence offense going to get an opportunity, albeit with the wind in their face. Kick is away. It'll be fielded at the 4-yard line. Daniels with it, works his way to the right-hand side, out across the 15, gets spun around and goes down.
There was almost no blocking.
Yeah, didn't get a chance to set up much of a return there, and then Independence going to take over deep in their own territory.
Not a pretty return by the Bulldogs. Unable to even get it out to the 20-yard line.
Well, the Bulldogs have been able to put points up on the board, but it was the defense that did it. We'll have to see if the offense can get something going and maybe get it in the end zone.
The offense was able to march right down the field, just unable to get it in as they did fumble in the red zone.
Shotgun set for Frawley. He'll hand it off, picking and choosing his way through the middle of that defense. The lead was Farley, and it was. He'll pick up 3, maybe 4 on that carry.
Can I act like Tony Romo up here? Mm-hmm. Just predict every single play?
You did a good job.
Have to be right, though.
Yeah. Just as long as you don't jinx the field goal kicker who's already missed 2 field goals. 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs. 6:40 left in the second quarter. El Dorado up by a point. Shotgun set. Going to hand it off. Fighting his way through that defensive line for a minimal gain. Was Farley once again, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and we'll call it 5 for the Independence offense.
Not really where Independence wants to be, considering the wind. And where they are at on the field.
Yeah, don't want to have to be in a punting situation, A, this deep into your own territory, and B, with the wind in your face. Back in the shotgun set, 2 wide receivers split out wide. Prawley fakes it, rolls out, looking to throw, fires it. It's picked off over the head of the intended receiver out to the 25-yard line. Still on his feet, gets tackled from behind. And that's where El Dorado will take over. So disastrous play for the Independent offense. And that's going to put the defense in quite the bind and give El Dorado a great opportunity with 5:46 left in the second quarter to try to extend this lead.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if that was intended for Farley or for Ryan Bruce.
Yeah, watching the replay, hard to tell. But either
kind of
way,
right in between.
Yeah, probably one, maybe a throwaway because they were both well covered. Pistol gun set, flag comes flying out.
Going to review the previous play. They got a review system here.
They could do it. Going to have a false start against the Wildcats, so it'll bring up 1st and 15. A little bit of good news there for the Bulldogs.
And Prawley with the big interception on defense. Unfortunately, he's got the big interception on offense as well.
Pistol gun set, 3 wide receivers. Wittenberg dropping back to pass, fires it, throws it way outside of the reach of the intended target on the out route, and it'll fall incomplete and brings up 2nd and 15. So another positive play for the Independent defense as El Dorado kind of wasting it down there on that one. I know you got the wind at your back, but Wildcats ran the ball pretty successfully on that last drive.
Yeah, clearly they're wanting to try to throw the ball now.
In the shotgun for Wittenberg. 2 running backs in the backfield. Going to hand it off. Working the left-hand side. Getting good blocks to the outside. Running over a defender out across the 20. Going to pick up a significant portion of that yardage back and bring up a much more manageable 3rd down situation.
Yeah, Armajo ends up getting about 10 there, and now he has 38 yards to lead the Wildcats on just 7 carries.
Big sequence here for the Independence defense, trying to keep this a 1-point deficit as they're trailing 7-6. Hand off to the tailback, right up the middle with it, spinning off the defender and out across the 15-yard line. Goes down at the 1st down marker. Have to wait officially. Yeah, our angle's kind of tough, but I think you're right. And he did get it. It's enough to move the chains and brings up 1st down for the Wildcats. El Dorado going a little hurry up here, too. Not taking a lot of time in the huddle. In the pistol, handoff, gets spun around in the backfield, gets out of it, out across the 10, down near the 5.
The gain of about 6. Like that was Bob at that time.
Yeah. Guess is as good as mine. And we got a timeout on the field. We'll go ahead and take a 30-second timeout with them. El Dorado 7, Independence 6, 4:31 left in the second quarter. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
We are all faced with tough decisions when choosing a home away from home for our loved ones. Medical Lodges and Grand Villas of Independence offer a wide variety of services ranging from an assisted living community to skilled nursing or long-term care.
Whether you're seeking a place to make new friends or recover and go home, Medical Lodges and Grand Villas Independence.
Call me, Megan, at Medical Lodges, 331-8789.
Or call me, Amber, at Grand Villas, 331-2260. We serve and enhance the lives of others with caring hands.
Coming out of the timeout, it's going to be second and 4 for El Dorado at the Independence 7-yard line. Pistol gun set for Wittenberg. 2 running backs behind him, 1 directly behind him. Going to hand it off. Right up the middle with it goes Bobbitt. He'll get taken down out across the 5-yard line, and enough for the 1st down. Brings up 1st and goal for the Wildcats. Very difficult situation for Independence defensively. First and goal at the Independence 3-yard line. Back in the pistol. Bobbitt up the middle, pushing his way into the end zone. Touchdown from 3 yards out. 13-6. El Dorado up. 4:09 left in the second quarter. And the Wildcats take advantage of the turnover, and they're able to punch it into the end zone. Shell to kick the extra point. Good snap. Kick is up. It's good as well. 14-6. Independence trailing by 8 with 4:09 left in the second quarter. We'll take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
What makes a good pharmacy? At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, it's a genuine interest in you and your personal health care needs. They help with all your health questions and concerns and offer health screenings that help monitor your health, sponsor health events that keep you informed of the most important advancements. And of course, a good pharmacy also provides a full range of the products you need for good health, from the national brands to trusted Medicine Shop brands. So what makes a good pharmacy? It's the Medicine Shop Promise. Pride in knowing medicine and also you in order to meet your individual health needs accurately and completely. 400 North Penn in Independence.
Yep, you're gonna look good in this house. Are we ready to make an offer?
Well, we really love this house.
Yes, we really love this house, but $120,000 is as high as we can go on this house.
You're kidding me, right? I see what kind of car you're driving. You got lots of money. You can do better than that. Sheesh.
Tired of being hounded? Then visit us at Midwest Real Estate. Your home, our commitment. Online at MidwestKS.com.
14-6, El Dorado with the lead over the Independence Bulldogs. 4:02 left. Kick is returned up to the 35-yard line. Independence will take over as El Dorado running the hurry up, not only offensively but special teams there. They got out there and kicked the ball away pretty quick. So Independence going to have plenty of time. 4:02 left in the second quarter, Brett, to try to get the points before we go into the locker room for halftime.
Yeah, big sequence here for the Bulldogs.
Shotgun set for Frawley. Going to hand the ball off. It's going to go to McGrath. McGrath off the right-hand side. He'll pick up close to 4 on that carry. Going to bring up 2nd and 6.
Is that McGrath's first carry?
Yeah, it is.
That's what I had on my stash. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, kind of hard to believe they were using Farley as the heavy lifter early on. Now they're starting to mix things up a little bit, I think. Shotgun.
Was only the 9th play Independence has run.
Yeah, that's a good point, too, I guess. Gives it off to Farley. This time up the middle. Big gainer there as he burst out across the 50 down to the 40, down to the 47. He got brought down a little sooner than I thought, but still big gain enough to move the chains for the first down with 3:24 left in the second quarter.
That one will go for 15, and now Independence on the El Dorado side of the field going to have to run their 3-minute offense, if you will.
Yeah, still a lot of time. They also have 2 timeouts at their disposal, but more importantly, they've got to get points. Got to start finishing drives. 3 wide receivers set, looking to throw. Frawley under a lot of pressure, fires it, and throws incomplete, just shy of his intended target there on that one. As coming out of the backfield was number 6, Jaden McGrath.
That was a very dangerous.
It was dangerous. Looked ill-advised, but, man, that kind of just fell just in front of him a little low.
I don't like the throw.
You can say one thing, Frawley not afraid to throw the ball after the
third down, maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't
there on first down. Twin wideouts to the far side, 200 backs to the backfield in the shotgun. Going to hand it off to McGrath. Gets stripped up to the backfield and then swallowed up at midfield. That's where he'll go down. And it's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Independence Bulldogs.
And El Dorado came out of there with the ball. Officials saying he was clearly down.
We got lucky on that one. Look at the replay. He was down.
It was close. He looked down, but it was close.
So 3rd and 12 for Independence. 5 wide receiver set for Brawley. Drops back to pass, throws it outside of the reach of the intended target. It sailed on him a little bit. Charter could not get to it. It's going to bring up 4th and 12 with 2:16 left in the second quarter. Now, you got to be careful. If you don't pick this up, give the ball back to the Wildcats, they're going to have more than enough time with 2 timeouts themselves. Especially if you don't gain any yardage, you're essentially giving the ball back at midfield.
Yeah. Independence looking like they were thinking this is clearly 4-down territory. The pass is only intended to go 5 yards. I'm punting the ball right here.
Good pooch it. Shotgun set for Prawley. And trying to get the El Dorado drawn off sides. Independence instead gets hit the false start. And it's going to march him back 5 more yards. Going to elect, or rather Carl Boldra going to elect to bring on the punt team now.
I feel like Coach Boldra was trying to get that 5 yards on the penalty and then call a play. Backfired.
Did not fall for the hard count. Farley back to punt this one away. He'll boot it into the wind. It'll be a short kick, but fair catch called for and caught at the 27-yard line. Pretty good exchange, all things considered, Brett, is El Dorado going to take over, not with a real great field position, 2:11 left before halftime.
If you're Independence, the defense has to come up big here. You do get the ball back first possession of the second half.
Hey, could have a situation I know you like to see, long field goal potentially, as El Dorado does have the wind at their back.
And the kickers look good on extra points.
Kickers look good on extra points, so
I'll take it.
Got to be cognizant of that fact. Really can't give up a ton of yardage. Pistol gun set. Wittenberg rolls out to his right-hand side under pressure, avoids it, now throws it well out of bounds, incomplete. As he was running out of real estate, just let that one go. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. .206 left in the second quarter. Wildcats up 14-6 over the Independence Bulldogs. Indy's only points tonight coming from a pick 6 by Josh Prawley. The offense hasn't been able to get anything going in the first half. Points-wise,
Independence still could get the ball back.
It's going to be a option run to the left-hand side. Quarterback keeper, and Wittenberg isn't going to get out to the first down marker.
Doesn't look like he got it from here.
No, depends on where they're going to spot that one. Yeah, it's shy by a third of a yard. I got foot, I guess.
El Dorado going quick here.
3rd down, whistles blow, timeout called. Going to be an official timeout, an equipment issue.
I'm El Dorado. I don't like it. I get it. You have issues every once in a while, but they were trying to go quick there, just got held up.
Again, it's 3rd and a foot. Should be a tough situation for the Wildcats, but just see what they decide to call here. Pistol gun set, going to run it up the middle, fighting through that right-hand side now, and it'll be enough for the first. Because El Dorado moving those chains, going to have to go hurry up here.
Seems like any time El Dorado is in a short down and distance, Kyle Bobbitt gets the ball in the middle.
Yep, Bobbitt shown to be that wrecking ball in short yardage situation. Back in the pistol, Wittenberg drops back to pass, looking, fires it over the middle, it's complete. He's going to work across the 35-yard line, shedding tackles. Now down the sideline, gets brought down out of bounds. Independence missing tackles in the open field.
2 tackles.
And that's going to turn what was a good gain into a great gain for the Wildcats, and they're already in scoring position, still with 1:14 left in the second quarter.
And that pass ended up going for 40 yards.
Wildcats have 2 timeouts as well. Pistol gun set. Play action fake, roll to the left, fires it, it's complete, wide open into the end zone, touchdown. Independence got fooled badly there on that play. And just like that, still with 67 seconds left before halftime. El Dorado finds their way into the end zone for another touchdown. They're up 20-6. Wildcats setting up for the PAT. Snap is away, kick is up, it's good. 21-6. Independence finds themselves down by 15 with 1:07 left in the second quarter. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
You hear every day about what makes an auto repair shop different than the others. AAA, ASA, ASE? What's all this alphabet soup mean? Well, AAA and ASA memberships include on-site monthly inspections, higher standards, and ongoing technician certifications. You can rest assured that having technicians whom are members of the Automotive Service Excellence, or ASE, your vehicle is being repaired right the first time. Call the Car Shop for those great mechanics you've been looking for. 331-3553, The Car Shop in Independence.
Getting ready for kickoff. 1:07 left before halftime. El Dorado up 21-6 over the Independence Bulldogs. Bulldogs do still have 2 timeouts. They can get some good field position, maybe try to set up a drive. It's going to be a little squib kick fielded at the 31-yard line. Spinning out of that one and working his way to the left-hand side was Cody Schicky, and he'll get brought down out across the 40 near the 42. With 59 seconds left before halftime, that's where the Bulldogs will take over. And
Independence has a chance to score.
They do. The only problem is that wind in their face, they're going to be limited on what they can call offensively here. Throw it deep. They've had the ability. They showed it last week. But yeah, it's, again, going to be tough with the stiff wind in their face. Shotgun set for Brawley. Looks to throw. Little hook route. Gets complete out to the 45-yard line, and Zadrick Daniels hauls that one in. Clock still running. Independence not going to call the timeout. Probably a good idea. Alternatively, do not want to give the ball back to El Dorado, as they still have 2 timeouts themselves. Shotgun set down 28 seconds left. Going to hand it off to McGrath. Left-hand side. Fights for what he can. Picks up close to 3 on that one. And Independence going to call a timeout with 20 seconds left. Bulldogs down 15. We'll take 30 seconds with them. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
The name Newkirk Dennison Buckles is synonymous with hometown insurance, always having your best interests at heart with the ability to design the product to fit your specific needs. Having the right insurance for your family, home, or business is important. Depend on Newkirk Dennison Buckles. They have been actively serving the community for over 100 years as insurance experts. When you think insurance, think Newkirk Dennison Buckles, with locations in Independence, Neodesha, Coffeyville, Fredonia, and Caney.
Interception.
Coming out of the timeout, 21-6, Independence down by 15. 20 seconds left here before halftime. And we'll have to see what the Bulldogs decide to do here with 3rd and 7. Ball is at their own 48-yard line.
Ball's going to Ryan Bruce.
We'll have to see if they decide to maybe just run the clock out. Shotgun set, fake the handoff, looking to throw. They are going to throw it deep on the streak, and it floats a little too close to the middle of the field and falls incomplete as they had an opportunity for a split second there out wide to the left-hand side, but it will not go down the way they want it to with 15 seconds left before the half.
That's Stafford in at tight end. He was open. And probably looking at the outside receiver all the way.
Again, that wind not helping matters. Going from the left to right is just looking at the flagpoles, the flags rather, just a constant stiff wind out there. 4th and 4. Independence set to go for it, and we got a whistle and another timeout called. We'll take 30 seconds. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
Quality Toyota and Quality Motors are proud supporters of IHS Athletics. We would like to encourage fans and players to keep up the great example of sportsmanship that is an Independence tradition. Quality Automotive Group also has a rich tradition of helping local folks get the best deal on a new or used car or truck. For example, I have a great school or commuter car, a 2011 Camry with only 56,000 miles. Stop by either side of the street and tell them you're here for the IHS Supporter Special and get a $1,000 discount. Go Bulldogs.
Coming out of the timeout, 4th and 4 for the Bulldogs at their own 48-yard line with 15 seconds left before we hit halftime. Independence has expended their final timeout of the first half. To see what the Independence Bulldogs decide to do. Again, another situation, Brett, you don't want to give the ball right back to El Dorado near midfield. Prawley, quarterback keeper after the fake handoff, gets enough for the first down, works his way to the left-hand side, and then gets out of bounds. It'll stop the clock with 7 seconds left.
I don't know if Prawley has the arm to get one to the end zone in the wind right here.
With the wind.
He's going to need one more quick out of bounds or something. You get about 8 more yards, I would think.
Ball is spotted at the left hash mark. 7 seconds left. New set of downs. Shotgun set for Prawley, looking to throw, fires it, and that sails well out of bounds, incomplete, as he was looking for Charter, but it's like a combination of wind and him losing the grip on the football as he was throwing it.
Yeah, now Independence in a situation where you just got to throw one up and hope you've got time for Prawley to set his feet so he can get one down to the end zone.
And this is where the tip drill comes into play, is probably not going to haul one in on a Hail Mary just cleanly, but that ball can get tipped around a little bit. Independence going to throw a screen, and going down to one knee after the reception, after getting tripped up, was Wyatt Chisholm. Makes the reception, albeit for a loss, and we'll go into halftime with the score 21-6. El Dorado with the lead over the Independence Bulldogs. We'll send it back to the studio for 3 minutes, and then when we come back, we will have the Newkirk Dennison Buckles halftime show. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
Want to make your home a more comfortable place, but don't think you can afford a top brand heating and cooling system? Well, Carrier has the right solutions for every budget. When you turn to your Carrier expert, they'll show you our full lineup of best-in-class home comfort systems and help you pick the one that best fits into your home budget. Because in this economy, who couldn't use a little more comfort?
Lee's Cooling and Heating in Independence. Call 620-331-2310. 118 South 8th Street, Independence.
When you have an emergency, you need a comprehensive healthcare facility that puts your mind at ease every step of the way. The Emergency Department at Labette Health Independence Healthcare Center offers patients fast access to vital healthcare services. Our quick response heart attack and stroke protocols ensure diagnostics begin rapidly. A state-of-the-art facility for state-of-the-art care. Labette Health Independence Healthcare Center, where we center around you.
Magicians can make all kinds of things disappear. Too bad they can't make ATM fees vanish. Or can they? An Equity Bank debit card and make every ATM fee at every ATM vanish. Go ahead. Agree to the fee. The magic potions inside your Equity Bank debit card prevents the fee from ever appearing in your account. Abracadabra. Get an Equity Bank debit card and perform your own bit of magic on any ATM. Ape wand and top hat not required. Equity Bank, member FDIC.
When the lights come up on Friday and Saturday nights at high schools and colleges across the region, it's often on a field built by Crossland Construction. Many Crossland employees played on those fields and were educated in the schools that are thriving parts of our communities today. Crossland is a proud supporter of area athletics and urges you to be a part of your local school community. Many of the athletes playing today may help Crossland build across our region in the future. Check out career opportunities at crossland.com. Crossland Construction, build you.
What makes a good pharmacy? At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, it's a genuine interest in you and your personal health care needs. They help with all your health questions and concerns and offer health screenings that help monitor your health, sponsor health events that keep you informed of the most important advancements. And of course, a good pharmacy also provides a full range of the products you need for good health, from the national brands to trusted Medicine Shop brands. So what makes a good pharmacy? It's the Medicine Shop Promise. Pride in knowing medicine and also you in order to meet your individual health needs accurately and completely. 400 North Penn in Independence.
The name Newkirk Denison Buckles is synonymous with hometown insurance, always having your best interests at heart with the ability to design the product to fit your specific needs. Having the right insurance for your family, home, or business is important. Depend on Newkirk Denison Buckles. They have been actively serving the community for over 100 years as insurance experts. When you think insurance, think Newkirk Denison Buckles, with locations in Independence, Neodesha, Coffeyville, Fredonia, and Caney.
You're listening to the IHS Bulldogs on KBIK Independence, Indy 102.9.
Here at halftime, 21-6, El Dorado with the 15-point lead over the Independence Bulldogs. I'm Kane Carpenter, along with me, Brett Shields. This is our Newkirk Denison Buckles halftime show, and Brett, things looked like they were going to be going relatively well for Independence early on. Had the pick six to score the first points of the game, actually, as Prawley hauled that one in and returned it for the touchdown. Offense looked like they had some things going, especially running the football. Then that fumble happened. They gave the ball up deep into Wildcat territory, and pretty much after that point, the El Dorado offense really not having much trouble working their way through this Independence defense. And conversely, offensively for the Bulldogs, they look a bit out of sorts trying to run the football out there, as those holes aren't quite as big as they were in that first quarter.
Yeah, offense looked good on that first drive, just marched right down the field. Unfortunately, had the fumble, and since then, the offense really hasn't done a single thing. And the defense, they've given up a lot of fourth down conversions. The defense hasn't looked bad. They just haven't been able to get 4 good plays in a row. They'll have 3 in a row, and then that fourth down. 3 in a row, fourth down. And El Dorado just slowly but surely marching down the field, did have one short field on the second touchdown. And unfortunately, here we are, 21-6. And it doesn't feel like the Bulldogs have been outplayed 21-6.
And it seems like every drive El Dorado had successfully after that first one of the game, it's been a little easier for them to move on that Independence defense. And probably a lot of that is, I know a lot of these kids play on both sides of the football, but getting out there on defensively, that defense out on the field quite a bit. I mean, heck, they were out there for 8 minutes to start the game, as that first drive by El Dorado took, I guess, a little shy of 8 minutes here in the first quarter. Independence defensively ultimately held on that fourth down, but that started to take a toll a little bit.
And you don't know, I mean, there's many factors that go into this, whether it's just, like you said, the team's getting a little tired, worn down. You've gone both ways, and it's not just tonight's game. You're in game 6 where some of these players it's 6 weeks of just every day at practice, every day in the game, every Friday night in the games, and the difference of you're at home and you're practicing on grass, you come out here and you have to play on turf. Does that make a difference?
No, not at all.
I mean, there's just
nicer on the joints playing on this.
Okay, there's things that make difference in games. That, I mean, going both ways. That's one of them. That's some of these guys. They just get tired, and
don't want
to say the same excuse for El Dorado.
Well, and I don't want to say that it's a situation where they're exhausted or anything, but you get worn down a little bit when you've got a team, running the ball, and El Dorado does it a little bit, and you're not getting points on the offensive side. It does eventually the dam breaks, so to speak, at some point, in which Independence gave up 21 points, consecutive points to El Dorado here.
All in the second quarter.
Yeah, all in the second quarter. But again,
posted a shutout in the first half, or the first quarter. Part of that was because
that 8-minute drive.
8-minute drive. You don't see that in high school.
Of course, it helps to have 2 fourth down conversions. I mean, that's essentially 8 plays right there that you know are going to happen. And then on top of that, still moving the ball down the field and deep into Independence territory. It takes its toll on you a little bit. Bulldogs fortunately able to turn them away on that drive, but they're going to have to see more of that in the second half. And you're not going to have a lot of opportunity, especially if you're down, to move the ball in large chunks down the field. Brett, just kind of going back to the wind a little bit. You're only going to have the wind at your back for one quarter. In the second half, you're going to have to take advantage of it, especially down 15. Not a lot, still 2-possession game, but
Independence really needs a score
on this opening drive coming out of the quarter.
Yeah, coming out of the third quarter.
Because they will begin with possession of the football, and it's going to be extremely important, coupled with what we talked about with the wind and the ability for this El Dorado team to extend a drive if they need to and eat up some valuable time.
Independence needs to come out, and they need to have a solid drive just to say, hey, we're here. You know, that we only scored one touchdown. It was on defense. Our offense is here. We're ready to go. We're taking back this momentum. We're going to take this game.
Yeah, momentum is going to be a big factor in this one, of course, as Independence probably getting down on themselves just a little bit going to the locker room at halftime. As I mentioned, giving up 21 consecutive points in that second quarter to fall down by 15 here at halftime. But some adjustments going to have to be made coming out to start the second half of this ball game by this Independence team, and going to have to find a way to get that offense back in sync a little bit, because that, more than anything, is going to be instrumental for this Bulldog team to try to come back.
Did you use the word instrumental because the band's out there right now?
Yeah, I'm probably looking at them, and that's exactly why I said it. I was going to say flag for some reason. I can't figure out why. It said instrumental instead, so it just kind of popped into my head on that one. But yeah, it's by no means a huge deficit. Don't want to make it feel like it is.
Especially with Independence getting the ball.
But you need both sides of the football to get back into sync. That defense is going to have to find a way to make some stops again, and that offense is going to have to find a way to put some points up on the board. I think right now we're going to take a 60-second timeout, send it back to the studio. When we come back, we're going to have more of our Newkirk, Dennis, and Buckles halftime show and talk a little bit about what high school football in the state of Kansas has for at least the next 2 years, in 4A especially. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
The name Newkirk, Dennis & Buckles is synonymous with hometown insurance. Always having your best interests at heart with the ability to design the product to fit your specific needs. Having the right insurance for your family, home, or business is important. Depend on Newkirk, Dennis & Buckles. They have been actively serving the community for over 100 years as insurance experts. When you think insurance, think Newkirk, Dennis & Buckles, with locations in Independence, Neodesha, Coffeyville, Fredonia, and Caney.
We are all faced with tough decisions when choosing a home away from home for our loved ones. Medical Lodges and Grand Villas of Independence offer a wide variety of services ranging from an assisted living community to skilled nursing or long-term care.
Whether you're seeking a place to make new friends or recover and go home, Medical Lodges and Grand Villas Independence.
Call me, Megan, at Medical Lodges, 331-8789.
Or call me, Amber, at Grand Villas, 331-2260. We serve and enhance the lives of others with caring hands.
Back here, El Dorado, Kansas, 21-6. Wildcats on top of the Independence Bulldogs by 15. We're here at halftime. This is our Newkirk, Dennis, and Buckles halftime show. I'm Kate Carpenter. Along with me, Brett Shields. And Brett, things changing beginning next year, at least as far as football is concerned. Probably the biggest changes taking place in 4A, as 4A will model what they do as far as postseason goes, the way 5A and 6A have done things the last 2 years. And do you want to explain exactly what's changed, or do you want me to explain and then you tell me how you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm just the color guy.
Okay, I'll explain it. So the way it's going to work out, 4A is going to fall with 32 teams, much like 5A and 6A have. It's also caused some teams to fall into 4A, some teams also to fall out of 4A as a result of it. That classification will be split 16 teams in the West, 16 teams in the East.
Now, before you get any further, let me explain how common sense works. Independence and Coffeyville play in the Southeast Kansas League. Southeast Kansas. Go ahead, Kane.
Independence, Coffeyville in the West. Now, before we get, but do you understand why they do it?
I understand why.
The way the line has to be drawn, because there are a significant number of teams that fall in the eastern half of the state of Kansas. The line that divides the state of Kansas is very far. Let's say not far. Let's say it's heavily skewed.
Let's say it's a football field. They drew the line on the 15-yard line.
Essentially, and it angles up towards Kansas City. Got a lot of schools in the Kansas City area, of course, that are 4A as well. As I mentioned, Independence falls in the West. They will be with Abilene, Andover Central, Park City, Augusta, Buhler, Coffeyville, El Dorado, who they're playing tonight, Goddard, McPherson, Mulvane, Rose Hill, Circle, Ulysses, which I believe is in California, Wellington, and Winfield. So those 16 teams, including Independence, will be in the West. You'll play 8 games through your regular season, and then everybody goes to playoffs. Seeding, your record rather, determines what seed you are and pretty much who you play. I guess I'll throw it on to you, Brett. Is this a better way to do things in the state of Kansas? Because I know you're not exactly a fan of the way district play works as it currently is. At least for you, is this a better system?
I think this is better than what they've got right now.
Why? I agree with you. I'm just going to play devil's advocate, though. Because we may have different reasons, I suppose. I'll tell you my reasons. We see a lot of times, if you pay attention, districts that are loaded where 3 teams absolutely deserve to go to the playoffs.
Can we look at last year in Class 2A?
I could, but it'll take a few minutes.
No, we could just talk about it. I kind of know. Sedan was, 8-0 going into Week 9 and lost and missed the playoffs. You're telling me an 8-1 team missed the playoffs, and yet there was a team that was like 2-7 in the playoffs.
And that's exactly stupid. I believe that's exactly what they want to try to avoid, and that's where I support this. Initially, when I heard it, especially with 5A, 6A, I was a little reluctant to kind of accept that, because on the surface, it makes the regular season somewhat irrelevant. As far it goes for seeding, of course, your record and whatnot. It'll determine how you're seeded, either 1 through 16.
It's and more than just record, too. It's weird.
Yeah, they've got a point system that attaches to it and whatnot. But, of course, record plays a pretty big factor into it. But I think this is going to avoid a lot of situations where teams get left out of the playoffs and teams that really probably have no business get to go. Now, those teams will still get to go, I guess, but, well, you got to beat.
Also keep in mind, as of right now, 4A plays a 9-game regular season.
It'll be 8.
It'll be an 8-game regular season, and your 9th, quote-unquote, regular season game is the first round of the playoffs, which means the second round, there will only be 16 teams left.
Which is what we currently have.
It currently is. However, you're going to get to that 16 a much fair, is it more fair, more fairer?
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think that's what it is.
Something like that.
But I think this does provide better equity to teams throughout.
Most fairest or what?
We'll say equity. I think that's a better way to do it. Equal on that side of it. But you were telling me about the schedule for Independence next year.
You mentioned I'm supposed to talk about that out loud.
Well, that's okay, but you also out loud talk about it in your head.
It was kind of on the down low. I don't know if it's been officially released,
but just to that point, it does change things quite a bit.
Source told me.
Yeah, it does change things quite a bit with what they're going to have to do with. Just not to put it out there in any uncertain terms, but I will. Going to see some teams from this area, it seems. So, and that's what Independence had to do.
By this area, you mean?
Yeah, where we're at currently, in the Wichita area, greater Wichita area, we'll call it that.
Okay.
We'll see teams in the greater Wichita area.
The schedule will be a little more rosy.
That was terrible.
Come on.
That was terrible.
I'm getting older. I'm almost over the hill.
Yeah. You're doing a good job on stuff.
Thanks.
But yeah, it makes things it's going to be interesting the way it's structured. I feel like Independence kind of gets a good situation where the Bulldogs, here comes full circle, you're just thinking about it now. You're not even being clever about it.
No, I'm not.
Where Independence is actually, in Coffeyville, I guess, for that matter, probably in a better situation as the West. Won't be as difficult top to bottom as the East is, with teams like Bishop Miege, Pittsburgh drops back to 4A. Of course, Goddard drops to 4A. They're in the West, though. I guess that's the one disadvantage. But Bishop Miege,
I plan to see Pittsburgh Bishop Miege semifinal as like an annual thing.
Well, Fazer Linwood's over there. Bonner Springs is over there. I think it'll change things a little bit. At least,
you know what I want to see?
Not at the top.
Pittsburgh and Ulysses are scheduled.
Yeah, tell me about that a little bit.
That's 370 miles. Miles.
Mm-hmm.
I saw on good old Twitter, good old reliable Twitter, there are a few towns that are closer to Pittsburgh, Kansas, closer than Ulysses. Those towns include Omaha, Nebraska, Memphis, Tennessee, and Dallas, Texas.
Those will be shorter
road trips than Ulysses, Kansas.
Now, we talked about this on the way up. This is something I didn't mention when we discussed this. If the system that's going to take place for the next 2 years at least ends up falling apart, I think that's going to be why. If the travel distances end up getting out of hands for some of these teams, I think that's where the resistance
As playoffs, maybe. Why in the world is Pittsburgh scheduling Ulysses? Why is Labette County scheduling Ulysses?
That's what I don't get. I figured it would just make more sense to play a majority of teams, if you could, either on the east or the west-hand side, if you can. Now, for Independence, that wouldn't be a good situation necessarily, although we are playing a lot of teams
I'll say this.
in the west.
Independence only plays one team that is outside of the east, outside of the west, or outside of their league.
Or the east, right? Didn't you mention?
Well, no, they're not in the east.
Yeah, okay.
But every east team is in the league.
Yeah.
So they don't count. But every other team is west, and then they have one other game.
It's not either.
It's not even in the state.
Yeah, so that does.
But it's not 18 hours away. They're going to have to take a flight to get there.
Yeah, exactly. Pitt might have to fly out to Ulysses to play that game. That's for sure. Yeah, it's they're changing things. That's for sure. Once again, here we got an extended halftime, so we had an opportunity to talk about some of the changes they're going to be making starting next year in football because of it. I do want to mention again, 21-6 El Dorado with lead over Independence. We're here at halftime. Kind of got a long halftime as they've got a lot of things they were going out during there with dancing for both the little kids and the dance team for the high school band played as well. So,
Shane, how's your NFL team doing?
We have that one. Not bad.
They're kicking themselves?
They not at all, actually. Not kicking themselves at all. So that's the problem. That's the problem with that one. That was a frustrating game to watch. I just do want to mention that a little bit.
Shane's a Bucs fan.
Yeah.
Bear with him.
They played.
My team beat the team that you lost to, along with every other team we've played this year.
So far. But there's a saying around here.
You can talk a little bit when you're the only undefeated.
Just a little bit, as long as you don't Marty Schottenheimer things when the playoffs roll around.
All right.
Isn't that right? That's kind of how that falls a little bit. Well, we're getting closer to the start of this one as teams are finally back out on the field to warm up at least. So, still,
the clock wound down to 0, and then they threw it.
Yeah, they always do that, though.
All right, halftime.
Don't quite get that. We had about a 25-minute halftime as a result that's still going on because of it. So, Independence down 15 currently, and the Bulldogs will begin with possession of the football to start the third quarter. We're still a few minutes away from that one, so I think right now we'll go ahead and take a 60-second timeout, wrap up our Newkirk, Dennis, and Buckles halftime show. When we come back, we should be very close to start the third quarter. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
The name Newkirk Denison Buckles is synonymous with hometown insurance. Always having your best interests at heart with the ability to design the product to fit your specific needs. Having the right insurance for your family, home, or business is important. Depend on Newkirk Denison Buckles. They have been actively serving the community for over 100 years as insurance experts. When you think insurance, think Newkirk Denison Buckles with locations in Independence, Neodesha, Coffeyville, Fredonia, and Caney.
When the lights come up on Friday and Saturday nights at high schools and colleges across the region, it's often on a field built by Crossland Construction. Many Crossland employees played on those fields and were educated in the schools that are thriving parts of our communities today. Crossland is a proud supporter of area athletics and urges you to be a part of your local school community. Many of the athletes playing today may help Crossland build across our region in the future. Check out career opportunities at crossland.com. Crossland Construction, build you.
Back here, El Dorado, Kansas, 21-6. Wildcats with the lead over the Independence Bulldogs. And both teams finally getting the stretching out of the way, and they're getting closer to start the third quarter after the extended halftime period. I was going to say we have a nice night here tonight, but I guess I don't know because we're inside.
Man, rub it in, why don't you?
It's a very windy night. Say that much. We know that much for sure. Could just kind of tell even from looking down on the field. See, the shirts, the official.
I just checked the weather, actually,
blowing the way they are.
Any weather in El Dorado is not going to be here till about 11:30 or 12.
Hey, did you notice the moon over there? I know this is boring for people on the radio, but nice orange moon.
On radio.
Nice orange moon rising.
It's brown. And,
if you haven't seen the moon, look at it. I highly encourage it.
It probably looks fairly similar in Independence.
I don't know. I would maybe fairly. We'll see. I mean, when we get there later tonight.
I was going to say maybe early morning. I don't really plan on going to club in Wichita.
Yeah, I don't think so. We'll pass on that one. El Dorado will kick off once they get out there. Both teams seem to be in no hurry, soaking up the wind.
Independence will have the wind in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they'll go into the wind once again here in the third. So
if Independence can get within one possession,
exactly, heading into the fourth quarter, that'll be a great situation for them.
That was offsides.
Yep. El Dorado will kick it away. It'll be fielded at about the 14-yard line. Like Prawley back there, gets taken down short of the 25. Flag comes flying in at the well away from everything here on the near side of the field. Curious to see what this call is.
Independence needs to do much better on their kick return team.
Yeah, not having the success that they had last week, that's for sure. I'm going to guess a sideline. The sideline warning is not going to go against Independence.
It's an awkward placement of the flag, considering the penalty.
The fact that it was, 20 yards away from the field, or from the play?
Usually an official will at least kind of throw the flag. He just kind of dropped it.
Yeah, well, it made it really look like I didn't know what he was going to call. I thought it was going to be a sideline.
His energy level throwing the flag was kind of like me doing a game.
Just dropping it. Low energy. 1st and 10. Ball at the Independence 14-yard line for the Bulldogs.
Not exactly great starting position.
Not at all. Shotgun set. Going to hand it off right up the middle with it. Looks like that's Marshall Day out to the 20-yard line. As I lost my sheet. Nope, excuse me. Cole Swearingen. Pardon me, that's who had the ball. Good carry there by Swearingen. As it'll bring up 2nd and 3. Back in the shotgun set for Prawley. Handed off this time, swallowed up in the backfield. Going to be a loss on that play. So quickly I couldn't even tell who had the ball.
Farley that time.
Farley loses a couple. Farley had a pretty strong, relative to what the Independence offense did, running the football there in that first half.
Farley had 54 yards on on just 7 carries in that first half. The rest of the offense only with about 28 yards.
Back in the gun, 36. Prawley keeps it, looks to throw, avoids the defender, fires it just out of the reach of the intended target on the move. Farley couldn't get a hand on it. It'll bring up 4th down for Independence, 4th and 6 from their own 19-yard line.
Probably going to have to punt.
Into the wind, no less, so probably one of the worst-case scenarios for Independence.
Probably want to get as much field position out of this as you can.
Farley back to punt. El Dorado sets up for the return. Low lining kick. That'll take an Independence bounce. It's picked up by the Wildcats, the 45-yard line, down the sideline, out of bounds. Flag comes flying in. Then 3 come flying. Looks like the officials just taking turns throwing them, one right after another. As I got to imagine, this is probably going to be multiple penalties.
Like an illegal block.
That had to be one of them. This question.
I mean, that block could have been ejection worthy.
Officials going to confer
a blindside block.
They will get the block in the back against El Dorado. So my question is that going to be the only penalty? One of those flags came flying in 5 seconds later from all the other flags.
Yeah, just the one penalty.
Huh. Usually don't see a flag coming in that late that only occurs with that same penalty. Well, nevertheless, it's going to march El Dorado back a little bit, back into their side of the field, as they will take over at their own 48-yard line with 10:35 left in the third quarter. They're already up by 15. Wittenberg drops back to throw, fires complete on the slant route. Defender fell down out across the 25 before getting brought down from behind. And does that look like Cole Swearingen there defensively? Touchdown-saving tackle.
Yeah, Schicky dove for the football, thinking that the receiver wasn't going to get to it. The receiver reached out and did catch it. Meanwhile, Schicky rolling on the ground, unfortunately, but he made a play on what he thought was going to be the ball.
Big gainer gets the first down. Wildcats going to run it up the middle inside the red zone, inside the 20. Big gain of close to 5 there. I think it was Bobbitt as the ball carrier. A little less than 5 as they mark it, 2nd and 6. Shotgun set, dropping back to pass. Wittenberg fires, got a man open. It's complete. Touchdown in the end zone there, as just coming free out across the goal line. Independence giving one up through the air. It's now 27-6. El Dorado with the lead. Luckily,
by Jonah Winter.
All right, we'll go with your eyes. So Winter with the touchdown reception. PAT pending. Bad snap and hold, but able to get the kick away, and it's good. 28-6. Wildcats up by 22 with 9:36 left in the third quarter. We'll take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
Brian Klein again with Quality Toyota and Quality Motors. We hope you're enjoying the game. You know, I've been here for 8 years now, and I have never had this many pre-owned Tacomas. You know the legendary dependability and reliability of the Tacoma? And now is your chance to save thousands off new prices. All of these are local trades. You can call or stop by either side of the street, and we'll show you why your neighbor trades with Quality Automotive Group. Hey, go Bulldogs, get that win.
Are you looking for a new option for your checking account? Look no further than Community National Bank and Trust. Our brand new Guardian Secure checking account helps protect you from identity theft, offers cell phone protection, shopping rewards, travel discounts, and can pay you CD-like rates if you qualify, all with your checking account. If your account isn't paying you, call or stop by Community National Bank and Trust today. Member FDIC.
El Dorado with the kickoff. It'll be fielded deep by Independence, bringing it out across the 20 near the 25-yard line, and that's where the Bulldogs will take over. As Independence down 22 points, Brett, 9:28 left in the third quarter, and the way Independence needed to start that third with giving the ball up quickly offensively and then allowing a touchdown on the other side.
Not at all, Kane. Independence offense probably going to be getting a little desperate here.
Again, still going into that wind.
Really need a score on this drive.
Crawley goes under center, hands it off to the tailback, working the right-hand side, and just following his offensive line is like Swearingen again. Picks up close to 3 on that carry. It'll bring up second and 7.
And part of the issue right now, El Dorado just call it a front 7, more like a front 9.
Yeah, no reason to try to go against the pass with that win. Probably quarterback keeper after the action fake down the sideline, avoiding a bunch of arm tackles. Flag comes flying late, hit out of bounds, and that'll tack on 15 more yards.
Fitzel threw that flag as high as we're sitting. We're 5 stories up, and that flag literally went 40 feet, 50 feet in the air. I love it.
So Independence going to get great field position after the penalties tacked on, after a pretty good run there by Crawley.
Probably ended up getting 16 on the carry.
8:48 left in the third quarter. Independence down by 22.
And it's not, probably wasn't hit extremely hard out of bounds. He was off balance and about 3 yards out of bounds.
Hit late.
Yeah, touched late, really. But,
yeah.
But it was if you're the defensive player, you just got to completely avoid touching anybody.
Handoff going to go to Farley. He stood up the line of scrimmage, goes down after no gain to bring up second and 10.
Hey, Kane, I've noticed even the safety, when the snap comes out, the safety's only 6-7 yards off the ball.
Yeah, and again, Independence has not shown it. They had the big pass play, of course, but for the most part, haven't shown a ton of ability to throw the ball in this game, coupled with the fact they've got a very stiff wind right into their face.
Safety about 12 yards off now, kind of stepping up even more. It's being about 8 yards off.
Probably going to pitch it. It's fumbled. El Dorado picks it up, 35, 30, 20, 10, into the end zone, touchdown as they tried to pitch it out to Farley. Tough pitch, a little behind him. And the mistake turned into 6 more points for the Wildcats as they're up 34-6, 7:58 left in the third quarter, and just a disastrous 4 minutes to begin the third quarter for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate play there.
Just some small things. Running the swinging gate is El Dorado, but they get flagged for an illegal procedure penalty. So they'll march off 5 yards, and the try attempt will have to be repeated. They're going to go for 2 again, it looks like. They'll run the option, working it, pitches it away, hit at the 5, goes down near the 3, out to the 2. Conversion attempt fails. Score still 34-6. El Dorado with the lead. 7:58 left in the third quarter. We'll take 30 seconds. You're listening to Bulldog Football. right here on Indy 102.9.
What makes a good pharmacy? At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, it's a genuine interest in you and your personal health care needs. They help with all your health questions and concerns and offer health screenings that help monitor your health, sponsor health events that keep you informed of the most important advancements. And of course, a good pharmacy also provides a full range of the products you need for good health, from the national brands to trusted Medicine Shop brands. So what makes a good pharmacy? It's the Medicine Shop Promise. Pride in knowing medicine and also you in order to meet your individual health needs accurately and completely. 400 North Penn in Independence.
You're listening to the IHS Bulldogs on KBIK Independence, Indy 102.9.
El Dorado lining up for the kickoff with the Wildcats up 34-6 over Independence. Wildcats boot this one away. It'll go into the end zone for the touchback. And the Bulldogs giving up 2 touchdowns in the span of 4 minutes and 2 seconds to begin the third quarter. The game's really starting to get away from Independence here in this one. And, you know, to combine that with the fact Independence has given up 2 touchdowns and still in the position of that wind in their face. So really limiting what the Bulldogs can do. Probably going to go under center. He'll hand it off to Farley, his tailback. He'll fight his way off the right-hand side for a pickup of about 1, maybe 1.5. We'll call it 2nd and 2 to be generous, or excuse me, 2nd and 8 to be generous. It's been a very difficult game for this Independence offense to get into any kind of flow, as they've been very inconsistent. Handoff going to go again to Farley as he gets hit almost immediately and falls forward for what he can. It's going to bring up 3rd and long.
And the holes are just evaporating. They're there. When Farley gets the handoff, their holes are there. And when he gets to them, they just kind of disappear.
Yeah, not there very long. Not like they were really in the early part of this game, unfortunately. You know, a lot of that give credit to the El Dorado defense making some adjustments, and they're starting to win the battle along the line of scrimmage. Independence in the gun, probably hands it off to Farley off the left-hand side, picks up maybe a yard on that carry. It'll bring up about a 4th and 7 now for Independence.
Yeah, just 3 straight runs to Farley up the middle, and get about a yard apiece.
About all they can do. Tough throwing in to that strong of a wind coming directly at you. Of course, now you're going to ask your punter to punt into that wind.
Independence not afraid to fake punts, though.
Very true. Not a lot to lose at this point. Farley, and they are going to fake it. They'll throw it, and they complete it for the first down, but the flag comes flying in, and it'll be a false start.
Even a pretty good play at that.
Yep, the Farley fall down. Yeah, faked it going over his head and going down. So the element of surprise has been robbed from the Bulldogs. If they try to go and fake it here again, don't think they will. They won't. Farley will kick this one away, boots it kind of high, and it just dies immediately and takes an El Dorado bounce, and Independence ends up downing it. Not going to get much of a net gain on that one, but did you see that ball just almost immediately stop as it got to an apex up there in the air? And again, just a testament to how strong this wind is out here tonight.
Ends up being a 3-yard punt.
Hurts the old average a little bit.
Just a hair. Don't see very many 3-yard punts.
Saw a negative 1-yard punt in that college game last week. Can't remember now who was playing.
Did not see that.
5 wide receivers set for the Wildcats. Wittenberg, he'll hand it off, man in motion, working to the left-hand side, gets tripped up. Flag comes flying in as he goes down across the 20.
I love that official.
Just tossing that thing as high in the air as he can. He's got to be careful. He throws it much higher. That wind's going to carry it away.
Yeah, the flag landed at about the 16-yard line. I think he threw it in the air at about the 23. It just kind of floated 7 yards.
Yeah. They are going to get a hold against El Dorado. It'll march back 10.
It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. However, the flag floated 7 yards.
True. The spot where it lands, the spot where he threw it. I've got to ask the important questions here. It's going to bring up a... the marker shows 2nd and 15. That's what we'll go with. Pistol gun set for Wittenberg. Hands it off, tailback up the middle with it. Finding a big hole out across the 20, the 15, down to the 10. Huge gainer. Gets the first down, and the Independence defense, not many answers out there right now.
Yep, he's kind of weaving his way through the middle there. And a good run by Jackson Shell.
Back in the pistol, 2 running backs back there with Wittenberg. He'll hand it off. Tailback off to the 5, out inside, down to the 3. Look like, was that Bobbitt that time?
Look like it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, we'll go with Bobbitt. Again, those red numbers on black jerseys are tough to see. Back in the pistol for Wittenberg. Going to run the option. Quarterback keeper finds the hole into the end zone. Touchdown. Just like that, it's 40-6. El Dorado up by 34 with 4:55 left in the third quarter. As the game now getting out of hand for the Bulldogs. And I guess more distressing, that's now 40 consecutive points for El Dorado after Independence got the first 6 of the ball game. PAT attempt is up low and gets through. It's good. 41-6. We'll take 60 seconds. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
When you have an emergency, you need a comprehensive healthcare facility that puts your mind at ease every step of the way. The emergency department at Labette Health Independence Healthcare Center offers quick response heart attack and stroke protocols, ensure diagnostics begin rapidly. A state-of-the-art facility for state-of-the-art care. Labette Health Independence Healthcare Center, where we center around you.
Yep, you're gonna look good in this house. Are we ready to make an offer?
Well, we really love this house.
Yes, we really love this house, but 120,000 is as high as we can go on this house.
You're kidding me, right? I see what kind of car you're driving. You got lots of money. You can do better than that. Sheesh.
Tired of being hounded? Then visit us at Midwest Real Estate. Your home, our commitment. Online at MidwestKS.com.
41-6. El Dorado with the lead over the Independence Bulldogs as things started out promising for Independence. Josh Prawley, interception, return for the touchdown. Independence went up 6-0, really to end the first quarter, and then
that was that was 10 seconds into the first
exactly.
Quarter.
Yeah, then it was all El Dorado from there on out. Kick won't be returned much there as that one hung high into the air, and Independence going to take over at about the, spot at 24-yard line.
And El Dorado didn't score their first points until the 7:18 mark, the second quarter.
They've scored 41 points since then.
In 14 and a half minutes, they've scored 41 unanswered points.
Yeah, just a snowballing type situation for Independence, as they had a few unlucky breaks, a few negative plays go against them. Things kind of got out of control from there. In the shotgun for the Bulldogs, handoff off the left-hand side, nowhere to go on that one, no gain, as that defensive line for El Dorado just winning the battle down in the trenches, as the Bulldogs, regardless of who the ball carrier is, not finding any room to run, especially compared to what they were able to do in the first quarter. Second and 10. Shotgun for Prawley. Looks to throw. looking, got time, works his way to the right-hand side, looking still, fires it, incomplete to the middle of the field. A couple of receivers in the general vicinity, but kind of hard to tell who the intended target was there. That brings up 3rd and 10.
Schicky was kind of coming up, and Chisholm was kind of coming across the top of the field. That one just kind of settled in no man's land.
4:09 rather left in the third quarter with 3rd and 10, and Independent still facing that wind. It's still lots of time left, about a third of this quarter left to face the wind. Handoff goes out to the right-hand side to Farley. He'll get stopped along the edge before being able to turn it up the field. Really no gain there either. It's going to bring up 4th and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Marion Farley had 7 carries for 54 yards in the first half. He now has 7 carries for 6 yards in the second half.
Brings the average down again. Is got to give credit to El Dorado. Ever since really about that mid part of the second quarter, they've turned things on and then some. It's 4th down. Bulldogs looking like they're going to go for it. 4 wide receivers set. Frawley, quarterback keeper, up the middle. Won't get it. Out to the 29, and that will result in a turnover on downs. Kind of looked like he was going to punt it there for a second, I thought, but I don't know whether that's what the play call was and then saw maybe that it wasn't going to be there, or maybe saw the hole and decided to take it. But
I wondered if he kind of went rogue there a little bit. Yeah, he looked like he was getting ready to maybe pooch punt it.
And then a hole did open up, and he took it, but El Dorado reacted quickly. Pistol gun set. Wittenberg hands it off. Left-hand side, cutting up the middle now, out to across the 15 to the 10. And Independence defensively, no answers for that ground attack, or really the offense in general of El Dorado right now.
Being a 19-yard run for Kyle Bobbitt.
Do have an injured Bulldog down on the field right now, and we'll go ahead and with 3:10 left in the third quarter, 41-6, El Dorado with the lead. We'll go ahead and take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
I'm Kim Goodman, born and raised in Independence, Kansas. At Equity Bank, you'll find experience in what we do with lending decisions made right here. When you buy a home, I will work with you while also providing great rates. We're helping build equity right here in Southeast Kansas. Go to equitybank.com to apply or call me at 331-1660. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Still got an injured player for the Bulldogs down on the field. Being tended to by the trainer. Coach Bolger out there as well. And can't quite tell the number. Yeah, it's 33. Is it? That's what I was thinking, but also want to make sure it wasn't. Yeah. So Swearingen able to get up under his own power and walk off the field without any help, albeit being escorted by Coach Bolger. That's a good sign, at least. It doesn't appear to be anything too serious. El Dorado, 5 wide receiver set. Slot man in motion, hands off, fakes the handoff. Quarterback keeper out across the 5-yard line. Good play fake. Had me fooled as well as part of the defense there on the left-hand side.
Fool you.
Well, not up from here anyway. That's true. So 2nd and goal from the 4. For the Wildcats. 2:40 left in the third quarter. Pistol gun set. Handoff going to go to Bobbitt up the middle. Minimal gain at best. They'll bring up 3rd and goal.
Independence, even for pride right here. Be nice if they could get a big stand and not give up a touchdown.
Wildcats break huddle back to the pistol. for Wittenberg. He'll hand it off up the middle, tripped up. Thought it fell short, but nope, Bobbitt got in for the touchdown. Near side officials signaling such. 47-6. El Dorado with the lead. 2:08 left in the third quarter. And El Dorado trying to push that to a 42-point lead with the PAT here. Flags come flying in, and like this is going to be a false start against the Wildcats. They'll marching back 5 yards. They'll set up for the try again. Snap is away, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. 48-6, El Dorado leads, 2:08 left in the third quarter. We'll take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy.
Want to make your home a more comfortable place, but don't think you can afford a top brand heating and cooling system? Well, Carrier has the right solutions for every budget. When you turn to your Carrier expert, they'll show you our full lineup of best-in-class home comfort systems and help you pick the one that best fits into your home budget. Because in this economy, who couldn't use a little more comfort?
Lee's Cooling and Heating in Independence. Call 620-331-2310. 118 South A Street, Independence.
We are all faced with tough decisions when choosing a home away from home for our loved ones. Medical Lodges and Grand Villas of Independence offer a wide variety of services ranging from an assisted living community to skilled nursing or long-term care.
Whether you're seeking a place to make new friends or recover and go home, Medical Lodges and Grand Villas Independence.
Call me, Megan, at Medical Lodges, 331-8789.
Or call me, Amber, at Grand Villas, 331-2260. We serve and enhance the lives of others with caring hands.
Kickoff is away. It'll be fielded at the 2-yard line by Daniels. Daniels take it out across the 15 out to the 20. That's where he'll get brought down, and Independence will take over with exactly 2 minutes left in the third quarter. However, the Bulldogs are down by 42. It's been 48 unanswered points, starting at, you said it was the 7:18 mark of the second quarter. That's when El Dorado first scored.
That is 17 minutes. Excuse me. Yes, 17 minutes and 18 seconds. 48 points.
Shotgun set for Brawley. He'll hand it off, working the right-hand side, and not getting anything there was the ball carrier. Rath was the ball carrier on that one. In fact, he'll lose considerable yardage, close to 5 on that loss. Well, El Dorado has been aided a little bit by Independence. A couple of turnovers and some stalled drives, given the Wildcats opportunities to add points on the board. But also have to give El Dorado a lot of credit for the way they played, in particular in the second half. Shotgun set for Brawley. He'll hand it off to Farley, left-hand side, gets hit out across the line of scrimmage and goes down after a gain of 1. It will bring up 3rd and 14 for Independence with 1:10 left in the third quarter.
Independence using as much clock as possible. I don't blame them.
Well, the ground game's really about the only viable option due to where the wind's blowing, as Independence heading right into that wind. Shotgun set, Prawley looking to throw it. Looking, fires it. It sails on him, and it's picked off at the 35-yard line. That'll be a turnover, and El Dorado get the ball back at the Bulldog 35. With 40 seconds left in the third quarter, Wildcats up 48-6. It's such a sharp contrast from the way the Bulldogs played last week at home against Anderson County.
Even the first quarter of this game.
True, too.
Independence just drove right down the field.
Option, pitch to the tailback, tripped up at the 30-yard line. Bobbitt able to get what he could out of that one. Be shy of the first down by a few yards, but gets around 6 on that carry. It'll bring up 2nd and 4. Down to 15 seconds left.
El Dorado does not have to run another play. I would throw one up with the wind at my back. Maybe not in a 42-point game.
Yeah, that changes the calculus of things a little bit. Shotgun set. Got handed off instead to the left-hand side. Plowing his way out across to the 25 was Armijo. He'll get the first down, it looks like. And, yep, enough to move the chains, but that's the end of the third quarter. We'll take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
At Community National Bank and Trust, your convenience is important to us. We have 29 locations throughout the area, all ready to serve you. We also have convenient online banking and a brand new upgrade to our mobile app. Download it today. We know your life is hectic enough. That's why we like to make banking easy and convenient. Convenient locations, convenient technology, convenience for you. Community National Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
State Farm Agent Kirk Wright, 1701 West Main in Independence, or call 620-331-1245. You're listening to the IHS Bulldogs on KBIK Independence, Indy 102.9.
Getting ready to start the fourth quarter. It's 48-6, El Dorado with the lead over the Independence Bulldogs. And El Dorado has possession of the football as well. They'll be going into the wind, although it's of little consequence for them with the 42-point lead. Pistol gun set. Whitberg hands it off to a tailback, gets stopped at the line of scrimmage, and fights forward for a gain of a yard. It'll bring up 2nd and 9. Definitely not the way the Independence Bulldogs wanted this night to go, but big games on the horizon for Independence and, well, really anybody around the state of Kansas, as district play will start for the Bulldogs next week on the road at Labette County. Wittenberg to run the option, gets pulled down from behind after he keeps it, falls down for a gain of about half a yard. We'll be generous, call it 3rd and 8. You know, Brett, I was looking at the roster, and Wittenberg not even listed as a quarterback. Actually, I don't think, is anybody even listed as a quarterback? Yeah.
Garrett Meyer.
What number?
Number 7.
Nope, yep, you're right. But Wittenberg listed as a wide receiver. However, played quarterback for the entirety of this game. Handoff going to go up the middle with it. And that looks like that's going to be a Bobbitt. Bobbitt not able to get to the first down marker, but makes it more manageable as it brings up 4th and 5.
And Wittenberg also played quarterback in last year's game. However, he was the 3rd
That's right.
player to attempt a pass.
Yeah, that's right. So 4th down, they're going to go for it. Running the option, quarterback keeper. Well, no, ball knocked loose as he tried to pitch it. However, picked up by El Dorado in the backfield. It'll be a turnover on downs after the loss of the play. And Bulldogs will get the football back with 10:03 left in the fourth quarter. Bulldogs down 42, but they've got the wind at their back. They can throw the ball a little if they decide to. Independence will break huddle. Twin wideouts to the near side. 2 running backs in the backfield. Shotgun set. Crawley, quarterback keeper, up the middle with it, breaking out across the 30, the 35 to the 40. Josh Prawley, big gain there on that one.
And that is the longest run of the game for Independence.
9:54 left in the fourth. Gets the first down on the 18-yard gain. Shotgun set for Independence. 2 wide receivers split out wide. 2 running backs in the backfield with Prawley. He'll hand it off. Up the middle with it goes Farley. He'll pick up 3 on the carry. It'll bring up 2nd and 7. Dogs break huddle once again. 3 wide receivers set, 4 Independents. Low snap. Prawley has to fall on it. He'll lose significant yardage on that one. It'll be a loss of 10. That's something Independence has had to battle with over the course of this season is some bad snaps. Has not been able to get to where they needed to, especially with some critical moments of the game. It's a 3rd and 17. Prawley looking to throw it under some pressure, reverses field, going to the left-hand side. Still looking for somebody, tries to go back to the right-hand side and gets hit going down to the turf. He'll lose some yardage there on that sack. And Independence in a 4th and very long situation after they went nowhere on that drive. 8:18 left in the 4th quarter.
The bright side, if you get a good punt up in the air.
Yeah, she'll find her way into Nebraska, that's for sure. Farley to punt this one away. 4th and 22. Independence fakes it. Prawley keeps it. Gains the yard. Goes down to be turnover on. 7:55 left in the 4th quarter. El Dorado up 48-6. As this one all but decided is just got to find out what the final score is going to end up being.
Notice there's no running clock?
Yeah, I noticed that earlier. We kind of thought there might be just because of the deficit, but again, that's a rule that, of course, varies from league to league. Timeout called by El Dorado. We'll take 30 seconds with them. Listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
What makes a good pharmacy? At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, it's a genuine interest in you and your personal health care needs. They help with all your health questions and concerns and offer health screenings that help monitor your health, sponsor health events that keep you informed of the most important advancements. And of course, a good pharmacy also provides a full range of products you need for good health, from the national brands to trusted Medicine Shop brands. So what makes a good pharmacy? It's the Medicine Shop Promise. Pride in knowing medicine and also you in order to meet your individual health needs accurately and completely. 400 North Penn in Independence.
You're listening to the IHS Bulldogs on KBIK Independence, Indy 102.9.
Getting ready to come out of the timeout. 48-6, the score. El Dorado with the lead. Do you want to mention again, this game brought to you in part by Quality Wrecker Service. For 24-hour roadside service, call 620-331-2454. One of our many fine sponsors for Bulldog football. Pistol gun set. New quarterback in there for El Dorado. Going to hand it off to the tailback. Breaking tackles en route to the end zone for the touchdown. Anybody's guess on the number there?
That's Bobbitt.
Is it Bobbitt still in there? Kind of surprised. Changed the quarterback, kept the tailback in there. Yeah, you're right. Bobbitt in the end zone for the touchdown. Makes this 54-6 with 7:13 and counting left here in the 4th quarter as the running clock is in effect. PAT pending for the Wildcats. Snap is away. Hold is good. Kick is up. It's good. 55-6 rather. El Dorado up. 6:43 left in the fourth. We'll take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
You're on the go, and we are too. Community National Bank and Trust introduces our app upgrade for mobile banking, now better than ever. From your smartphone or tablet, you can view account balances, see your transaction history, transfer funds, and pay bills. It doesn't get any more convenient than that. Enroll in Community National Bank and Trust online banking and download our updated app today. Banking on the go from Community National Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
The name Newkirk Denison Buckles is synonymous with hometown insurance. Always having your best interests at heart with the ability to design the product to fit your specific needs. Having the right insurance for your family, home, or business is important. Depend on Newkirk Denison Buckles. They have been actively serving the community for over 100 years as insurance experts. When you think insurance, think Newkirk Denison Buckles with locations in Independence, Neodesha, Coffeyville, Fredonia, and Caney.
Kickoff is away. Independence will field it. Schicky with it down across the 30 out to the 35 before getting tripped up. And that's where Independence will take over with possession of the football. Again, running clock, 5:20 left in the fourth quarter. Independence down 55-6. It's I don't even know how to describe this, but good first quarter by Independence, I guess I'll say, as Bulldogs were up 6-0 after the pick six by Josh Frawley. But really from about the middle point of the second quarter on, it has been all El Dorado, to say the least. Shotgun set for the Bulldogs. Collar with it at the quarterback spot. He'll throw it. It's tipped away, incomplete. Intended target there on that one was number 13, Zadrick Daniels. Not the way Independence wanted this to go, obviously, Brett, but they're going to have to figure some things out because district play begins next week on the road at Labette County, a game where that's probably going to be arguably your toughest district game. Labette County has already shown they can knock off the light before it's got. Caller looking to throw it, fires it again, incomplete. Schicky, the intended target, going to bring up third down. Yep, next week, Labette County on the road. It'll be a heck of a test for that Independent team against our Labette County team itching for revenge.
Yeah. Two high school defenses going at it.
Yeah, definitely in that one.
No middle school defense this year.
Yeah, Labette County was not happy with the way Independence called things defensively last year, albeit Independence got the win.
A lot of blitzes.
Absolutely. Collar dropping back to throw, fires it to Daniels, incomplete as he gets hit. Once he tries to haul that one in and not able to secure it after the hit, it'll bring up fourth down.
I like Independence letting Collar throw it 3 times. Let me get his feet wet a little bit. Probably do it one more time.
Yeah, fourth down, of course, not the loop here in this situation with. I'd like to see him try to air it out a little bit. You have wind at your back. Of course, I haven't checked the flag recently. I'm sure the wind died down, and then it would have it. Nope, pretty stiff wind still. Collar drops back to throw, looking, going to throw it deep. He'll fire it. Got a man just out of the reach of Farley, the intended target. Good ball. Yeah, it was a pretty good throw, all things considered, but we'll blame the wind a little bit on that one as it let it sail.
Well, it went off the fingertips. I've had coaches tell me back in my day, if you can touch it, you should catch it. He could touch that.
Yeah.
There was no way he would catch it.
He laid out for it. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, that scraped his finger.
Yeah, you're right. That was...
Farley was completely reached. Didn't lay out, but, I mean, full reach, and it clipped his fingernails.
Down to 2:22 left in the fourth. El Dorado in no hurry. It's they'll break. Well, they won't break huddle. They'll take a delay of game penalty.
Here was the quarterback for 7. Let's get a check on that. Garrett Meyer. Hey, we talked about him earlier. He's actually the quarterback on the roster. Telling the coaches, I've only got 10 out here. That's why they took the delay of game.
Down to 150 left in the fourth. In the shotgun. Wildcats with the football, going to hand it off, tripping up and falling forward, however, for a gain of a couple on that one, as it was number 10, Zach Wittenberg. Minimal gain at best for the Wildcat.
Zach Wittenberg, a freshman, I'm going to go on a limb and say that those two are brothers. Cody and Zach.
Possible.
At least cousins.
Yeah, related, I'm sure. Pistol gun set. Going to hand it off to the tailback once again, right up the middle with it. Wittenberg get a couple on that one as well. Brings it down to 1:05 left in the fourth quarter. So Bulldogs is going to take the loss in this one. It's going to drop them to 2-4 on the season as they'll head into district play on the road next week. Yeah, hard to believe on the road we're going to go, but this time a little closer, I guess, as we're traveled out on. Man. Absolutely. Back in the pistol, hands it off to the tailback. Wittenberg, nowhere to go with that one. Gets swallowed up in the backfield, and that should do it. Unless, well, maybe not. Depends on when they get it spotted, I guess.
That'll do it.
Yeah, it should, as we finally got under it.
That official held the ball.
Yeah, didn't want to spot it, just wanted to make sure. So unless El Dorado elects to run another play, should end up in the end of this one. As just a very difficult game for the Bulldogs. Started off so well, really a quarter and a half of this game. El Dorado just came back with a vengeance, and that'll do it. 55-6. Independence takes the loss here tonight against El Dorado on the road. We're going to send it back to the studio for 3 minutes, and when we come back, we will have our Labette Health postgame show. You're listening to Bulldog Football right here on Indy 102.9.
Many things change over time, and auto repair is one of those things. While today's high-tech cars may not require the same continuous service as the older ones do, they will nonetheless at one time or another need to be serviced. When they do, they require high-tech equipment and highly trained certified technicians. You can find all those, along with the most advanced computer diagnostic equipment available, at the Car Shop.
3201 West Main in Independence. That's 3201 West Main in Independence.
Yep, you're gonna look good in this house. Are we ready to make an offer?
Well, we really love this house.
Yes, we really love this house, but 120,000 is as high as we can go on this house.
You're kidding me, right? I see what kind of car you're driving. You got lots of money. You can do better than that. Sheesh!
Tired of being hounded? Then visit us at Midwest Real Estate. Your home, our commitment. Online at MidwestKS.com.
What makes a good pharmacy? At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, it's a genuine interest in you and your personal health care needs. They help with all your health questions and concerns and offer health screenings that help monitor your health, sponsor health events that keep you informed of the most important advancements. And of course, a good pharmacy also provides a full range of the products you need for good health, from the national brands to trusted Medicine Shop brands. So what makes a good pharmacy? It's the Medicine Shop Promise. Pride in knowing medicine and also you in order to meet your individual health needs accurately and completely. 400 North Penn in Independence.
Magicians can make all kinds of things disappear. Too bad they can't make ATM fees vanish. Or can they? An Equity Bank debit card and make every ATM fee at every ATM vanish. Go ahead. Agree to the fee. The magic potions inside your Equity Bank debit card prevents the fee from ever appearing in your account. Abracadabra. Get an Equity Bank debit card and perform your own bit of magic on any ATM. A wand and top hat not required. Equity Bank, member FDIC.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
State Farm Agent Kirk Wright, 1701 West Main in Independence, or call 620-331-1245.
When you have an emergency, you need a comprehensive healthcare facility that puts your mind at ease every step of the way. The emergency department at Labette Health Independence Healthcare Center offers patients fast access to vital healthcare services. Our quick response heart attack and stroke protocols ensure diagnostics begin rapidly. A state-of-the-art facility for state-of-the-art care. Labette Health Independence Healthcare Center, where we center around you.
Here at the end of this one in El Dorado, Kansas, 55-6. El Dorado with the win over the Independence Bulldogs. I'm Kane Carpenter. Along with me, Brett Shields. This is